Ahead on the Tiger Football Report, we'll be once again joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose, as we discuss the season opening loss to Central Connecticut State. And later we will preview the Tigers matchup with the West Virginia Mountaineers. Another episode of the Tiger Football Report begins right now. Hello, Tiger fans, and welcome back to the Towson Sports Network studios for another episode of the Tiger Football Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas. The Tigers did not open the season the way they wanted as they fell to Central Connecticut State 31-27 last Saturday to fall to 0-1. But the Tigers fought hard, and on the final drive, Connor Frazier threw a nice pass to Andre Dessenberg, who caught the ball but couldn't quite get his foot down inbounds. But as Coach Ambrose will tell us, a football game does not come down to one play, and unfortunately for the Tigers, they did not play well enough to secure the victory. With that, let's now bring in the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose. And Coach, you went into this game saying that it was not about Central Connecticut State, it was about the Towson University football team. And I guess overall you'd have to say you did not pass the test.
Oh, well, we didn't walk away with a win, so no. And it's not like there's A, B, C's, and D's. It's either A or F. And nobody keeps track of the score in November of what the game was in early September or August. We didn't get the win. We made too many mistakes, and we paid for it.
When you came into this game, they had a new coaching staff, so you said that you didn't really know what they were going to do schematically to perfection, but you did know that their quarterback was very good, and you did know that their running back was very good. Both those guys were very effective last season, even though Central Connecticut was 4-8. They showed you, again, why they're talented football players.
Both those guys are talented. They had a wideout that was extremely talented. They had some defensive players that are extremely talented. They have a good football team personnel-wise. And Coach Rossamondo's done a really, really good job in a short period of time getting those guys focused and motivated towards the same goal. And they're much better than advertised. They're way better than their preseason rankings. And I would pretty much bet at the end of the year they're going to be sitting in one of the tops in that conference.
At halftime, you're down 7-7. Oh, excuse me, you're tied 7-7. What do you tell the ball club at halftime? I'm sure they were in a little bit of shock because, I mean, they read press clippings. They know what's going on. I'm sure they figured that they were going to win this game pretty handily.
Well, as I said before, every team is its own team in its own year. And these guys would not listen to the fact that it's this year's team and not last year's team. And after we got in the doors and closed the doors at halftime, we had a very heated discussion about what we have done well and what we haven't done well, and that we need to put together a much better effort as a team in the second half. And I think on the whole we responded, but in the end we made too many mistakes.
Probably the biggest mistake came when there were 3.5 minutes left in the game. You guys were up by 3. Central Connecticut State was punting, and Towson roughed the punter, which allowed them to come down. And you still had a chance. I mean, you still stopped them from scoring and get the ball back and end the football game. But then on 4th and 13, they completed a 34-yard pass. Those two plays, to me, were obviously the killers of the ball game.
Well, there's one more. And I agree. But I could point out 50 plays that, give or take an inch or two here, or a guy doing his assignment either right or wrong or better. That we don't come down to those. But there was also there's a third down mystery defensive holding call when the ball was thrown out of bounds. That we didn't need to be near that, and that call didn't need to happen. But when I tell you, turnovers and penalties are always going to make a difference in close games, and we found a way to keep giving them the ball back. When Connor scored in the 4th, I think he scored with about 8 minutes, maybe even a little bit less than that. And I remember saying on the headphones, we needed to score at this amount of time for a back and forth game, so we made sure that we didn't give them the ball back last. And basically we did that.
But again, the team didn't give up, down 31-27 with 30 seconds to go. Nice pass to Dessenberg, completed for 11 yards. And then the last play of the game, and Andre he got half the foot in, half the foot out. And like you said, in November, nobody's going to care that you were an inch from winning the football game. All they're going to care about is that it was an L.
True, but there's tons and tons of takeaways from this. And I said that these guys got a crash course in finding out what they are, what they're not, and they rolled around in that for a while. But from the coach's perspective, what we found is what we can be, and that's probably the most important. And that one of the great things that when I look back at this, and you have to take the good with the bad, you just can't take all the bad, is seeing a bunch of young kids. I think somebody told me that it was like 13 guys ended up getting their first career starts on Saturday, which is a ton of dudes when you talk about just two sides of the ball. But having a team that's that young finish and come back. All right, there's only 36 seconds left, and for them to not compete but believe that we were going to come back and win, and then get that close. That's a good start for something down the road. That's a great thing to see.
The other thing that to me was great. It was Labor Day weekend, and the student turnout was phenomenal.
Oh my God.
You figure Towson normally Labor Day weekend everybody goes home, nobody sticks around. It was packed on the student side of the field.
You remember days going by.
Oh yeah.
When it wasn't anybody, and I got to tell you, when we're standing underneath the Tiger Head to come out and run, I'm looking over there at all those kids in gold, and as an alum of this school, as the football coach and an alum, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. My heart starts to warm. It's like the backwards Grinch. My heart just, instead of gets smaller, gets bigger, and I'm so in love with those guys. And in the press conference, and it never, whatever I say in the press conference, never all of it gets out. It's only what you guys choose to provide. But the first thing I said was that I thank them for the ones that stuck around to the end, that believed in us, and that I apologize that we didn't give them the result that they stuck around for. But man, knowing what I know about this place, knowing how far we've come, to say that I love our student body, that words aren't strong enough. They really aren't. And
as you said all last year and the year before, I mean, the game comes down to the last play. Entertainment value is very high. That's true. There's no question. We wanted, but it was high entertainment value for your dollar, and we've kept true to that. And 19 out of 20 times we've been on the plus side of that. I'm not sure. Every now and then there's one of those games. We have 2 games versus Delaware where we turned the ball over late or made mistakes late, but they were great games to watch if you're a fan. So but then we went up there and took one from them in overtime too. So yeah, high entertainment value for your dollar still exists. So stick around until the end of the game. All right, when we come back on the Tiger Football Report, we will spotlight a few of the players that played well against Central Connecticut State, as well as some that will need to play better if the Tigers want to come out of Morgantown with a win. The Tiger Football Report will return right after this.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
White Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. You come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise Quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome back to the Tiger Football Report. I'm Spiro Marikas, joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose, and Coach Darius Victor, last year's CAA Player of the Year offensively, or Rookie of the Year. Didn't show any kind of a sophomore jinx on Saturday night. 19 carries, 105 yards. What did you think of Darius's performance?
I thought it was a yeoman's effort. I really did, and especially, there's tons that people don't know, about summer camp and summer practice. He missed the last 2.5 weeks of practice because of a foot thing, and just started getting healthy, and we were trying to delay him, his coming back, and trying to slow his roll. He wouldn't let us. And the more he played, the better he got. And considering the fact that we didn't play that well up front, to see those stats, no way, man. No sophomore jinx in him, and that's a credit to his personality. That he doesn't believe it's about him. He's going to work as hard as he can work to do as best as he can do for the team. And if we had a whole team full of those guys, I wouldn't be afraid to play the New York Giants.
Is he pound for pound the strongest kid on that football team?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I mean, he's very, very strong, but we got a lot of strong guys now. Coach Pick has done a tremendous job, growing these guys up and making them work towards their potential. So, is he the? No, I don't think he's the, but he's one of for sure.
Quarterback Connor Frazier had a great day running the football, 2 long touchdown runs. But throwing the football, I'm sure Connor will tell you he did not play as well as he should have.
Not as he should have, more like as he can. And we had a conversation as an offensive staff, and we sat down and talked about the game in review. And one of the things that I had to point out, and despite the great things that Connor has done in his time here, and despite all his previous experience, this too was his first collegiate start at quarterback. And anybody that's ever taken the reins for their first start, 9 times out of 10, those guys are a little tight. And it showed up in the pass game. The vertical balls that we had opportunities to make easy, big plays on wide open guys, we ended up not completing or throwing the ball out of bounds, and we just can't do that. So nobody's a bigger critic of Connor than Connor, and nobody's harder on themselves than he is on himself. But I expect that his play this week, he's going to be a lot more comfortable in his shoes, and it doesn't really matter who the opponent is. And I think he's going to run that offense with a little bit of fun, a little bit of excitement, and a lot more efficiency.
It was great to see Spencer Wilkins back. Spencer got injured after 9 games last year, couldn't take part in the great run at the end of the year, and he's one of the leaders of this football team, and it was just great to see him back making catches.
Yeah, it is. And he, too, has had a tough camp and a little bit of a muscle tweak here and there. So he was coming back and, almost at full strength come game time, but wasn't going to give me an opportunity not to play him, not after sitting out, at every game after the Richmond game and having to watch us make this run without him. And when you see a senior at the end of their career, how hard they push themselves to squeeze every last bit of juice out of the last snaps they get, it's a really prideful thing. And he's an example to the young guys of how important the game is as a person, as a teammate, and as an alum. It's really important. And watching him grow into this, and it's kind of heartwarming.
All right, if people go back and they watch last week's archived Tiger Football Report, you say, here's a name that you're going to say a lot, James Sims. Well, we said it 14 times as he had 14 tackles in the ball game. Not bad for a redshirt freshman linebacker, huh?
Not bad at all. And with that being said, I can make the same commentary I just made about Connor, that for all the things James did well, there's a lot that he didn't do well. And he's his own toughest critic, too. And, he don't want to hear about all the great plays that he made. He's more focused on the ones that he didn't, which is, again, a sign of good things to come. A redshirt freshman playing that well in their first start, it's only going to get better. So, yeah, I got lots of reasons to smile.
Obviously, on the defensive side, they did not play as well as you would have wanted them to, giving up the big plays, and Central Connecticut was able to roll up a lot of yardage in the ball game. San Giacomo was 22 of 27. Why was he so successful in the pass game last week?
He's really talented, and what they asked him to do was definitely within his skill set. That there's not a whole ton of vertical balls in that. There's not a whole bunch of third downs that he had to stick in there. There are a lot of short bubble screens, slow screens, quick screens, wide out screens that are relatively high percentage passes to do. They did a good job trying to keep the ball out of our hands, you know, trying to milk the clock as much as they could. But he's a talented ball player. There's no question about it. And you said go back in the archives. If you go back in the archives of the last 3 years, we probably gave up more big plays in this game than we gave up in an entire season. So, and we know that that's one of our deals. If we don't give up the big play, we're really good red zone defense, and you know percentages have bared that out. And that's just we didn't get that done, and we know that that's one of the areas in which we desperately need to improve.
They also avoided Ty Smith like the plague. I mean, they were not going to Ty Smith's side of the football field.
Yeah, I wonder why.
That's got to help you when you can shut down one half the field.
He has earned the respect of coaches, players, and NFL scouts all over the country. And it's not just his talent, it's his work ethic. That he's as skilled as there is. He's got great feet, he's got great speed, he's long, he's smart, but he works at it. He doesn't just rely on his talent. He works at it week after week after week, trying to be the best he can be. And that's one of the reasons that he's a captain, that the people look at him like that's how I should do it. And it kind of bears its own fruit come game day when nobody wants to, oh, where's Ty? Okay, well, we're not throwing on that side. And, you know, it's very rare that you see that kind of respect on one singular defensive back. And that just shows you how hard he works.
The offensive line got a lot of publicity before the season because it's brand new. How do you rate their performance on Saturday night?
In some aspects of it, better than anticipated. There's some things that I was really, really happy about. But the thing about an offensive line that needs to exist is you can say whatever you want about an individual and their talent, but those five have to work in unison perfectly or plays don't work. And too many times it was 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5. And that just doesn't, you know, you look at our offense in the last couple of years, we're clicking all the time because we are 5 out of 5 and they are 1. We're not there yet. And it showed. On occasion we were, and on occasion we did some really, really good things. And I believe that we are talented, and I know that I could tell after the game there's a great light of what we can be. But for what we did, no, that wasn't good enough.
Well, we're going to have to hope that all five are in sync on Saturday night as we will come back to the Tiger Football Report. We'll preview this Saturday night's matchup as the Tigers hit the road for the first time this year, and they will battle West Virginia. But before we go, let's take a look at this week's Tiger Tidbit presented by Under Armour. Did you know Towson football has not lost a road game since October 6, 2012? The Tigers were a perfect 8-0 on the road last year and won their final 3 in 2012 for a total of 11 straight road wins.
So what you got on deck?
Skyfall, Lean In, then some Pinterest. You?
Twitter, Minecraft, and then some Hunger Games. Boom.
Oh, you guys are all set, huh?
Oh, yeah. New Amazon Fire Phone.
It comes with Amazon Prime. Tons of cool stuff for no extra charge.
Really? It comes with Amazon Prime?
Yeah, there's so much to watch.
I've been on this earth 9 years. I've never seen anything like it.
The new Amazon Fire Phone with a full year of Prime included, exclusively on AT&T.
Mariner Finance is a consumer finance company, so we offer personal loans.
Mariner Finance is a great place to work. It's a great thing for anyone with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Everybody in every office has an opportunity to achieve and grow.
Be your own leader. Be a leader amongst the fellow coworkers in your office.
The training and development that we do at Mariner Finance is one-on-one. Someone who has been there, done it, experienced it.
There is no better feeling.
Learn with us.
Grow with us.
Run with us.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Red, sign that, sign that.
Yeah! And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo! Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship,
Welcome back to the Tiger Football Report. I'm Spiro Marikas alongside the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose. And coach, as we saw in this week's Tiger Tidbit before the last break, you guys have just been road warriors over the last year and a half. What is it about playing on the road that has made your guys so successful?
Well, it's a combination of things, and it's not all the best. When we're at home, we're in a major metropolitan institution with 22,000 plus students, and that creates the possibility and the high percentage for a lot of distractions every day. That there's tons of people around that want to be doing stuff, and it can take your mind off of what you're doing, what you should be focusing on. When we go on the road, it's just us. It's just us, and there is no choice. We are focused on the goal. We go stay in a hotel, we go eat together, sleep together, so to speak, watch film together, and we build towards the ability to play that game. And we do our best to kind of simulate that when we're at home, but we don't stay together, and the night before the game, our guys are living in separate domiciles all over town. So the ability to tune out the distractions is definitely a key to any success in anything you do. And when we go on the road, we have a better ability to control that, and it bears fruit.
Obviously, this week, West Virginia, the first time that Towson has ever matched up against the Mountaineers in Morgantown or anywhere, for that matter. Although the Tigers did practice at their stadium back in the mid-'90s when we went to play Dayton and stopped there to practice. But this is a team that is coming off a tough loss to the number 2 team in the country, Alabama, 33-23. Obviously, West Virginia is a storied program. You were quoted this week as saying that they may have the best talent of any of these FBS schools that you've played over the last few years.
That's quite possibly true. Seriously, team speed, as team speed goes, they're one of the best, and they're probably team speed-wise one of the better teams in the country. So not just the teams that we've played. They're physical enough for what they do, but they are really, really talented. Now, I've said this over and over again. You look at their roster and you know all these guys that got recruited, and that's fine. That's great. But only 11 of them get to go play on the field at one time. So it's not like you have to beat their roster. You just have to beat the 11 in front of you.
Their quarterback, Clint Trickett, last week was able to throw for 365 yards. He had 5 receivers catch at least 5 passes. Obviously, this is a team that has been very dynamic offensively through the years, but they did give up 538 yards to Alabama, and last year many would say that they were defensively challenged. So obviously this is a chance for your offense to try to maybe be able to control the clock a little bit and keep that dynamic offense off the field.
Well, you know, I would say that there's lots of teams that give up 500-some yards of offense to Alabama. They are truly the best players that can be recruited, supposedly. And that's a challenge in itself. You can throw all those stats away because they really don't mean a hell of beans. It's the score at the end of the game that's always going to matter. And their offense is dynamic. Their defense is solid. They've changed schemes and they fit it in pretty well. It's what they used to run, the old 3-3 stack. So they're a much improved football team from what they were the last 2 years. And we're just going to go up there and give them everything we got. And you know I love these games. I do.
Do you love the fact that it's at night? Is that more difficult because everybody sits around all day in the hotel?
From a coach's perspective,
keep the players occupied.
No, we do know with the film watching, and we do some walkthroughs and stuff. So the kids, they watch some football during the day too. But you know, there's certain times you can't really start that fire to go compete that early in the day. From a coach's perspective, oh man, we wake up Saturday morning, we just want to play. I mean, at 7 o'clock in the morning, let's go have a football game. I don't want to sit around all day. let's go challenge ourselves right now. So yeah, that is a little difficult, but the guys like playing at night. You know, it's a different atmosphere, and it will be an impressive game day atmosphere. Outside of LSU, this will be the most impressive game day atmosphere our guys have ever seen.
And throw in the fact that it's their first home game of the year, and they've made big improvements to the stadium that all their fans want to see, and it's fireworks night. I mean, they got it all going on Saturday.
Well, truth be told, I spent enough time coaching against them in that stadium that they didn't need any more than that. The West Virginia fans are extremely ardent about what they believe their football team should be. They are powerfully strong, unified, fun-loving, get to the ballpark early and enjoy tailgating fans, and it'll be a great day for them. I'm just hoping that we make it a little bit less great than they think.
Does it help that you did coach against them when you were at Connecticut?
It helps that I've been there in the stadium before. Truth be told, it probably helps that I've coached against the 3-3 stack in that stadium. So the guy who's running it now, the defensive coordinator, Coach Gibson, learned it from the guy that was there before, who's a friend of mine. So some of that helps. The fact that I know where we'll be before going down there, you know, in and out of the locker room, what the fans are like, it helps educate the guys that I've been there before. But in the end, just football, man. You get inside the white lines, and when you're a ball player, when you're truly a ball player, you don't know if there's 5 fans or 5 million fans. It doesn't really matter. It's just a guy against you right in front of you.
You grew up in Western Maryland, and there are probably some West Virginia fans in Western Maryland. Did you see that when you were growing up, a lot of West Virginia type fans in Western Maryland?
The farther west you get in the state of Maryland, you know, it used to be College Park was it, and there was nothing else. But the farther west you get, the line starts to blur. And there's some Western Marylanders that are not quite sure they live in Maryland. They're west. West Virginia's a little bit closer than College Park for them, and they kind of resonate with the country atmosphere that is a little more Morgantown than it is basically the suburbs of Washington, D.C. But, oh yeah, there's West Virginia fans out there.
Did your father have many players recruited by West Virginia in high school?
No, our school was very, very small, and there was not a lot of Division I guys that got recruited out of there up until past maybe 10 years. You know, it's taken a long time to build to the point where the quality of player that you had year in, year out was worthy of a Division I, you know, a big-time school. So no, not a lot of guys went to, not that I can recall.
We have to take one final break, but we will be back with more of the Tiger Football Report right after this.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
White Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packages of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years at Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Welcome back to the Tiger Football Report. Coach, thanks for stopping by, and good luck against West Virginia, and we'll talk again next week.
Thanks. We're gonna need it, and I hope to see you and everybody else there wearing our colors, and then we can fight off the blue and yellow a little bit.
As we have mentioned, the Tigers hit the road on Saturday to battle the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Game time is 7:30. If you can't make it to Morgantown, don't worry. We'll have the game live and for free right here on the Towson Sports Network, as well as CBS Radio 1300 AM, with coverage starting on the Towson Sports Network at 7 o'clock and on AM 1300 at 7:15. That's going to do it for this edition of the Tiger Football Report. I'm Spiro Marikas. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon.